Hello, everybody. How are you guys doing on this Wednesday morning? I know that there's a lot of activity going on with our next door neighbor here, but if you are joining me here live, I want to say a quick thank you for being here and let us connect. I'm just going to take a little quick sip here of my celery juice. Have you guys ever had celery juice? Celery juice is really great, especially if you're someone that craves a lot of chocolate. It usually means that you're low on magnesium. And I started taking celery juice, and celery juice has helped me tremendously from having these chocolate cravings. It's full of magnesium, and when you actually drink the celery, you can taste the little salt that's in there as well. So guys, if you are joining me live, I see a couple eyes are coming on. Say hello, send me a quick wave, smash that heart, give me some likes, give me some care. I love to know that you guys are here with me. Guys, let me just quick reminder, we have our virtual vision board coming up on Sunday. So if you guys want to join us, make sure you click that link right above the video. It says click my group, and I'm going to be walking you through it on Sunday. It's going to be so much fun, guys. All of this stuff that you want to see coming and manifesting for yourself into 2021. It is such a fun activity to do. When I look back over my own vision boards, there's always these handful of things that I've seen manifest, and it always makes me smile. And when we have these vision boards, it's a constant reminder for us of where we need to keep our focus. I see Mala is here, Robert is here. Hey guys, nice seeing you guys. Thank you so much for joining. So today on episode 21, we are talking about plucking the weeds of our mind. Plucking the weeds of our mind. What does that mean? Now, if you guys are familiar with weeds, and if any of you ever garden out there, you know that if you leave a weed unattended for so long, they get so long and so thick. And when you try to pull that booger out of the ground, the thing will not budge. I'm going to use that as a reflection of some of the thoughts that we are planting in our mind, that garden in our mind, that if we're going to keep planting a lot of those negative thoughts, those negative seeds, it's going to be harder and harder to pluck them out. So that's what today's video is about, plucking the weeds out of our mind. You know, guys, there's a saying that says that you could plant a seed and a weed side by side and they will both flourish. Now, the question is, which one are you going to tame and which one are you going to flourish? That's a big question, isn't it? Now, guys, did you know that the human mind has thousands of thoughts a day? Thousands of thoughts that are continuously coming at us on a regular basis, and the majority of the thoughts that are actually coming in is a pretty mixed bag of thoughts that are usually very confused, thoughts that are actually very unfocused, and most of them are very negative. Those are the kind of thoughts that we're very unconsciously constantly bringing into our minds. And once we allow ourselves, this is a big one. Once we allow ourselves to be aware of the kind of thoughts that we're constantly feeding our mind, we start to then become a lot more mindful of what we're allowing ourselves to repeat over and over and over in our minds. Now, the thing is, guys, that we have to start getting really brutally honest with ourselves, right? If we can take this moment and be very brutally honest with yourself, what areas of your life are you settling with? What are the things in your life that is causing you unhappiness, even resentment? Is it your health? Is it your job? Is it where you're living? Is it maybe the toxic relationship that you're in? I was there. I was in a very toxic relationship, a relationship that I was allowing someone else to beat me down every single day, figuratively and literally and metaphorically. I was allowing somebody to continuously beat me down. I accepted the words they told me. I accepted the actions they had towards me. I accepted the behavior they had towards me. And I allowed that to be my truth until I finally decided one day to say, enough is enough. I need to get out of this situation. I need to be fully responsible now with my action to get myself out of here. And then I had to start working through getting those weeds out of my mind because they were holding me back from going forward and starting my own healing process and creating the kind of life that I was looking for. So here's a quick suggestion that I'm going to offer you guys, a tip. What if for the next week, you start to take an honest list, an honest look of the kind of thoughts that you're repeating to yourself on a regular basis. Make a list of this and write it down. What are those weeds that are holding you back and getting in the way of your dreams and the actions that you have to take in order to go forward and do the things that you want to do with your life? Start writing them down. Now, again, you have to have a very tough and a very honest conversation with yourself. A very tough and a very honest conversation with yourself. What are these things, these words, these we's that I'm constantly repeating to myself that are holding me back? And when you start to challenge yourself and to admit what those weeds are, then you can start to pluck them. Then you can start to pull them out and bring your focus into what it is that you actually need to start doing. Again, be honest with yourself. I know it gets very uncomfortable. You see, nobody ever wants to do the hard work, right? Everybody wants the simple answers, the simple solutions, that magic pill that's going to make everything so much better. You know what that magic pill is? It's you. You are your own magic pill. You are the one that is going to make the changes happen for yourself. No one else and nothing else can do it for you. You are the magic that you are looking for. So have this uncomfortable conversation with yourself. Ask yourself, what is it that I'm constantly thinking about? What is the story that I'm constantly saying to myself that is holding me back and not allowing me to go forward? Write them down. Write them down for the next week, every single day, because when we become aware of the things that we're constantly feeding our minds, then we can start changing our mental diet, right? Our verbal diet. Now, while things grow in every aspect of our lives, right? So we need to be very intentional about, again, removing these weeds from our minds, from our bodies, and from our soul. Now, let's talk about mental weeds. Mental weeds include those negative thoughts, those toxic conversations that we can have with others or with ourselves, or even images that we're projecting to ourselves and to others. Living in the past, which actually triggers depression, or living too much into the future, which actually triggers anxiety, right? So it's finding that fine balance. And remember that what you put into your mind is what actually comes out, right? You are projecting everything that you're feeding into your mind on a regular basis. So what are the weeds in your mind that are holding you back? What is it that is blocking your mental health? Write these down, guys. It's very powerful, this exercise. Write these down. Be intentional about protecting your mind. Start to listen to positive podcasts. Start to read motivational books. Start to place affirmations or affirmations around your desk, in your home, in the mirror, in the bathroom, right? Somewhere you're constantly looking at and being reminded. Start doing that and start speaking kindly to yourself. Please. Mothers who have children, okay, when we start saying things about ourselves that are negative, trust me, your kids are going to pick it up. You know, I'm not smart enough. I'm not motivated enough. I'm never going to this. I'm never going to do that. Whether you're speaking it out loud or just thinking it, my friend, your children are going to pick it up. And when your children start talking like that, let that be a reflection of where you are within yourself and what it is that you need to start changing. Speak kindly to yourself. Focus on the positive things that you need to do and practice gratitude. I know we hear gratitude everywhere we go. Gratitude this, gratitude that. But guys, there's truth behind it. There is truth behind it. Because we tend to spend too much of our time focusing on all of the negatives that we forget how far we've come. Don't look at how far you have to go, okay? That's just so stressful. Look at how far you have come. Be grateful for all of the actions and the steps that you've taken to be where you are today, because if you are in a better place today than when you were yesterday, that's a lot to be grateful for. So take a moment and be grateful for that. Now, let's start plucking the emotional weeds out of our lives. So emotional weeds develop when we choose to stay stuck in our negative feelings for too long, right? So being angry, being sad, being disappointed, these are all very normal feelings, right? We're humans. We're going to go through all of these emotions, right? But we need to remember these emotions do not belong to us. These emotions do not belong to us. They are there to give us a human experience, to teach us things. So feeling angry, feeling sad, feeling disappointed, feeling depressed, feeling anxious, these are things that we need to start acknowledging that they're there, but also allowing them to process out of the body. You don't want to stay in that unhealthy mindset. Those are part of the weeds that we keep replanting into our garden. And you know, guys, weeds, they start spreading once they start and you don't tame them. They're all over the place. So start being mindful of that as well. Staying angry about the past, guys, is going to negatively affect your life. It's going to negatively affect your physical health. So all of those would-haves and the should-haves and the could-haves, start removing them out of your emotional garden. Pluck them out. Get them out of that garden. They're there to show you something. They're not there to nourish you. You know, there's a saying that says weeding is hard work, right? So without hard work, nothing grows but the weeds. I read that somewhere in like a gardening magazine. You have to garden that. Letting go is hard. I know. Letting go is hard, but it's necessary. Letting go is so necessary if you want to start feeling better about yourself, if you want to start having a more of a crystal clear vision of where you're going and what you have to do. You have to start letting go slowly. Physical weeds. Let's talk about our physical weeds. Toxic relationships, unhealthy foods, being completely disorganized, being super unfulfilled in the work that we are doing. We need to start slowly plucking those out of the physical aspects of our lives as well. One weed at a time, one pluck at a time. First of all, let us be aware of what those are. Again, coming back to write it down, guys, for the next week. Start writing down what it is that are hindering your growth, hindering your garden. Write them down. Sometimes it also means that we have to remove those negative people from our lives, from our intimate circles. And if we cannot just get rid of these people, we need to start to disattach from who they are, right? Sometimes we live with somebody. It could be our husband, our wives, our children, our parents, our bosses, our co-workers. We can't just flick them out of the way, right? They're there. But it's important not to let them and their energy vampires latch on to us. And then we start to believe that what they are projecting is our truth. It's not. We have to stop always assuming that just because someone says something to us, someone blames us for something or accuses us of something because they're having their own moment of negativity, that's a reflection back on us. You don't have to accept that. When I was in that relationship and that person was telling me, you're worth nothing, you don't mean anything to me, Your likes and desires mean absolutely nothing. If I would have spent another 10 years with that person, I wouldn't even know who I am anymore. I wouldn't have been able to take care of my son. If I had accepted that person's truth to become my truth, it would have eaten every ounce of who I am. And I wouldn't be able to sit here today and reach out to others and say, hey, get out of it. Pluck those weeds. You don't need to stay there. So sometimes we need to cut those projections and say, no, that's your decision. That's your words. Those are your thoughts. They don't belong to me, and I don't have to accept them. You see, guys, reaching your highest potential has everything to do with removing these weeds out of your life. If you, let's say, want to lose weight, right? Even losing weight, we've got weeds in our life. You have to start removing the weeds of the junk foods, right? All of those temptations that are around us. You have to get rid of that if you want to change your health, if you want to get in better shape, if you want to lose weight, if you need to up-level your own health. These all have to go, and start to incorporate the healthy foods, incorporate the supplements into your life to see yourself come into a better place. Let's talk about now spiritual weeds. Spiritual weeds is there. Spiritual clearing is also very important, right? We have a lot of people in our lives. These are negative vampires. I don't know if you've heard of this term before, but we've got negative vampire who just suck the energy out of us, right? Or sometimes it's the environment that we are in. We need to clear all that. How do we do that? Prayer. Prayer. Coming to source, asking for guidance. You can't do it alone, guys. We can't do this alone. There is something bigger and greater out there. And a lot of us have lost this connection to it, right? So we need to start now nourishing our garden with that source. Coming to it and saying, I need your guidance. Show me what to do. Guide me into my next action. Guide me into the next words that come out of me. Meditation is listening to that guidance. Prayer is asking, right? Prayer is having a conversation. Meditation is hearing that guidance coming through. Very powerful stuff here, guys. Practicing forgiveness and atonement. Atonement means taking full responsibility of your thoughts, your actions, your words. Full responsibility of your actions, your thoughts, and your words. Again, full responsibility of your own actions, of your own thoughts, and of your own words. Because when you take full responsibility of that, something completely shifts in you. You realize how much control you may actually have over your own situation. Not over somebody else, over your own situation. Wearing crystals also helps. Working with crystals, working with energy. This also helps to clear a lot of the things around us as well. But this is another topic for another time as well. And mindfulness, guys, be mindful. And again, be grateful. Look how far you've come, not how far you always have to go. You have to start tending to your garden on a regular basis. Remember, guys, you can plant a seed and a weed side by side, and they're both going to flourish abundantly. Where are you putting your focus? Be aware of the thoughts. Be aware of where you are on a regular basis, mentally, physically, and emotionally, and start plucking out one at a time. You don't need to go and take the whole thing out, you know, but you got to start somewhere. You got to start somewhere, right? So find that one weed that's really poking at you right now, and look how thick and deep its root is, and start to work it out. You guys, I hope this had value for you. I hope this information was helpful to you. Remember, we do have our virtual vision board workshop that's coming up on Sunday. So if you guys want to join us in that, I have that link to my group right above this video. Go ahead and click and join us. That's going to be happening on Sunday. Apart from that, make sure you have lots of water. Make sure you always tend to your garden. And I wish you guys an amazing rest of your day. And I will see you guys soon. Bye.